I'm ready. Okay.
And we're live. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Rich.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for asking. Although I'm a little tired, and I'll tell you why in just a second.
Okay, so what kind of coffee are you drinking this time?
I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm doing donut shop coffee, and unfortunately, it's decaf, but it's in my Fat Dog mug, which is very, very
All
important.
right, let me be honest with you. I don't understand decaf.
I think we talked about this actually last
Yeah.
time. Decaf should not exist.
So hold on a second. You're going to hear it double. I am going to unmute us really quick because I want to just hear how the sound is coming.
Sure.
So, because I want to just hear how the sound is coming.
Sure.
So, all right, I think the volumes are okay now.
Okay, good.
All right, I will mute. I think I need to be closer to my mic though, which I do. Okay, so this time I'm not drinking instant coffee. I actually brewed my coffee this morning.
Ah, yes, you mentioned something about maybe getting a very high tech, fancy dancy thing at some point.
No, no, not high tech and fancy. It's an old fashioned scoop it in with a filter.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, there you go.
but I have, but I am drinking. What am I drinking? Oh, I'm drinking Gavalia medium roast. Medium roast.
Okay, okay.
It's
Well,
very good. So
you
why are you
know,
tired?
why am I tired? Well, look, this is over coffee, and I'm super excited to be on the show. And I usually am getting up early all the time, as you and I have talked about. One of the reasons why we decided to do this show. Uh, but yesterday I had my little game group meet, and wow, like people that I haven't seen in a while showed up, and people showed up and brought their friends. And next thing you know, we had like 10 people in the house. And I played two games of Azul, which was absolutely so much fun. And then I played the Village for the first time, or Village, I think it's just called. Great game. And then we played Grizzled.
Oh
So
yeah,
I
I like
actually,
grizzled.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I actually got the games here. That was a lot of fun, but we lost miserably, and I got the Azul game here, so that was a good time last night.
What's Azul
Then,
about?
Azul is an abstract strategy game.
Okay.
It's basically you're placing tiles into a tableau, and you're trying to score points by having like uh, it's just like placing placing tiles close to one another. So that's like your play board. So you got
Right.
this tableau here, and you're trying to place a tile next to it. If you place the tile next to it, you get like an extra point. And you're trying to fill these up, and there's a whole bunch of different cool strategies about that. But then at about 11 o'clock last night, everybody's like, hey, do we want to go to bed now? No, we don't want to go to bed now. Why would we want to do a silly thing like that? So I'm super excited. I got all my friends excited, and we decided to play
Oh.
Loon, right? The game, and Ginger played too. I can't believe it. Ginger started a game at 11 o'clock with me last night, and it almost ended at 1, and it almost ended at 2, and it almost ended at 3, and we finally finished at 4 a.m. So I went to bed for like an hour and a half and woke up to come do over coffee. So,
Very nice.
but it was a great time. Just did not expect that game to go 5 hours. But so
uh,
that's why I'm a little tired today, Rich.
that's
What about
complete.
you?
That's completely understandable. Well, while I'm not I'm not as tired as you are
Right,
for the same reasons. I'm still tired. I went to bed. I didn't go to bed until after the football game.
right.
I don't even remember watching it to be honest with you, but I had to wake up at 1:30 because I had stuff in the crock pot that was going to finish around that time.
Okay,
I started I started a new series this past this past weekend for the YouTube
okay,
channel
okay,
called Nerds Cooking,
okay. All right.
and one of the and I'll be honest with you, it's going to be pretty fun. So we filmed a bunch of the openings, and then
Okay.
I made sesame beef.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
That was in the crock pot, but I didn't time it right, so it was finishing at like 1 o'clock,
Uh,
and and it couldn't sit overnight in the crock pot.
right. Otherwise, you'd have some other beef instead of sesame beef.
Right. So I woke up and I had to take it out and cut it up into servings, put it away, and then move on. What else
Right.
did I make yesterday? I made an aioli. I made tea, and then I filmed the beginnings of chili. Oh, I did a charcuterie board.
Wow, look
So
at you.
yeah, my daughter helped me. Let me see if I can, as we're talking, I'll see if I can pull up one of the videos.
You got like gourmet cooking going on.
Well, that's the whole point. It's but the beginnings. Let me see if I can pull up one of the beginnings.
Sure.
It's pretty cool.
Will I be able to see it? You're gonna be able to link it in.
You might not be able to see it,
Okay.
but well, it'll be on there so you can see it in the video.
Yeah.
I think. I'm not sure. I've never done this before.
Okay.
So, but all right. So, what do we have? What do we have scheduled? So, basically, like I had said, what I'm starting a new YouTube. I cook anyway,
Okay.
right? So, I'm starting a YouTube series. I'm just filming myself cook, and there'll be like 5 to 10 minute segments. We'll
Okay.
speed up the appropriate places. So that way,
Right. Now it simmers for 20 minutes. Let's
right? Nothing
let's
like
watch
that.
it.
Nothing like that. And then I wonder if it'll do this, huh?
That'll be neat.
So I figured, hey, this should be pretty good,
Right.
and so we started doing that. Let me see if this is doing that. No.
Literally good content and delicious at the same time. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right. So it's not really going to let me do this right, or I don't know
Okay.
I don't understand how to do it. So I'll figure it out.
Maybe once you put it up, obviously, like, how are we gonna? I've got like some links I want to throw up, so I don't know where I should do that. So you just let me know.
Well, you could send them to me.
Okay.
Are they just links?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So if you just send, you could put them in chat. That's number
Oh,
one.
okay.
You could put them in chat. Number one, and number two, you can put them in chat to me
Okay.
via the Zoom. Zoom has a chat,
Okay.
and I can put them on the I could put them on the overlay. If you notice on our overlay, the right hand side, or just to it would be what, your left, maybe,
Yes.
or your right. I don't know.
Yeah, it says
So
over coffees, so you can put.
with that, I left that open so we can start putting stuff there. If we have photos, we have stuff like that.
Oh,
You know.
okay.
So
Erie 2 2019 is on.
yes, that's Erica. Good morning.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if
Okay,
she's drinking coffee.
I see you got the little coffee cup at the bottom right hand side of the overlay too.
Yeah,
So
Russ Keach from Long Island Tabletop did all of these
okay.
graphics.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
So I just put it. What I did is I just put a description really quick of what we wanted. He put all
Okay.
of this together for us. I mean, he's been great. He's gotten so many of these done.
Wow, that's great.
There's
Yeah.
there's only a couple of shows that don't have overlays yet, and that's only because I didn't have a description the way I wanted to
Okay.
yet.
Now this brings me to something we were talking about just before we started, Rich, and I just wanted to say not only thank you, but I think it's fantastic, and I know it's a lot of labor, a labor of love, but I've been wanting to do a podcast, Twitch show, YouTube channel, whatever for like at least 2 or 3 years now. And I was talking to one of my friends, about a year and a half ago, and he was like, "Yeah, so I'm trying to do this, but I'm trying to get organized." Like, one of the things I notice in listening to podcasts that I do is that when a podcast launch, sometimes the podcast is just three guys talking about absolutely nothing in
Yeah,
episode one. But sometimes I've noticed episode one of a podcast is so polished and refined, and it's like they have the segments, they have all the music down, they have all the intros down and everything. And I'm always like, wow, they must have spent 500 hours working on the first five podcasts, getting it all set. And I don't know which way is better. I guess it really doesn't matter. Both ways are good. So I was talking to my friend, and I was basically complaining. It's like, oh man, I'm so busy. I got to do this. And he goes, how how busy are you that you can't like turn on a camera? Just press the button and start talking. And so that's how my Facebook live show came about, is
Right.
that I just did it, and so I really think it's great that you have hooked up with LI Tabletop, Long Island Tabletop, and have just said, I'm just doing this, and I know it's still a lot of work, but
Yeah, well,
you're
over time we'll get. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, I'm done.
Over time, I'm hoping to pull on other volunteers like yourself. You
Mhm.
know, you'll be able to host this. While right now I'm on. There's six shows this week.
Yeah.
There was one starting yesterday, by the way.
Right.
Yesterday was the
Right.
first show. Today there's two. But we did yesterday. I did a video game development stream. I'm on that because I'm part of the team. I'm actually one of the developers.
Okay.
So I'm also, and the PM. So we, it just made that was natural. We were having meetings anyway, so
Right.
might as well stream it because you never know if we get a developer start watching, he may catch something we say or something we're showing and go, oh wait,
Right.
guys, why don't you try this?
Right.
So like, all right. So as the followers start to pick up, we may get some help.
Right.
Then there's Over Coffee, which I enjoy because everything needs a news chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to get better. Here's one of the things that we need to do. We need to get better about advertising it. Like mine will automatically send a Twitter feed, but we've got to
Okay.
start sending a Twitter feed. We've got to post in the Slack channel. We got to do all of that, and we should do
Right.
that. We should do that in the morning. So the point being, going back to what you said, is just do it.
Right.
I would rather have unpolished first episodes because if your show is good,
Right.
right, and it catches on and people listen to it, then they're gonna like your show and they're gonna tune in. Then, then when you look back to the unpolished ones, those become
Right.
even more valuable.
Right.
You know,
Right.
as opposed to if you spend so much time and you wait a year before you get going because you want to polish everything,
Right.
then you've already reached the pinnacle of what you can develop to. How do you get
Right.
better from that?
Right.
Right? Then you're making the wrong types of tweaks.
Right. And also the thing is that am I doing my Facebook live show and just starting out here with Over Coffee and whatever else I do in the future, I'm having a good time. So this is like entertainment for me. So yeah, sure, it'd be nice to get some recognition. Sure, it'd be nice to make some money, but that's not what I'm doing it for. I mean, doing it just to have a good time, hang out, talk about games, spread gaming on Long Island, and even wider. I'm hoping some people are signing into my Facebook live show every week because they like to hear the little glib that I do on a game, or they're looking to find out what's coming up. They
Right.
don't want to miss out on anything.
Right.
And so I think that's what Over Coffee is too. You and I are going to banter back and forth, and talk about what's upcoming, maybe
Yeah.
some news, topic. We can make it topical. One of the things that happened yesterday
Like a
is
cream?
like a topical cream. Yeah, one of the things that happened yesterday with Ginger was we were driving to New Jersey, and the I put on a podcast. I was like, "Honey, I really want you to listen to this." It was the top 10 abstract games from the Dice Tower, and Ginger plays a lot of abstract games. Like
Okay.
Azul is an abstract game too.
Okay.
So we listened to the list, and some of the reason why I wanted her to listen to it was because some of the games that were on there she plays at conventions. It's like her go-to games, like Ingenious or something like that. And here it is, Tom Vassell talking about Ingenious, and Ginger I thought would like really be interested in that. So about halfway through the 10 or 12 minute segment, she's like, people actually find this interesting. I find it amazingly boring. And I'm like, I'm chuckling through the whole thing because they're making little jokes. But I realized that I picked up on the jokes because I know the personalities.
Right.
And so as people get to learn you and me, and how we talk and how we act and how we interact, I think it's going to be a fun ride.
Well, they'll get to know me if they just watch the channel at all, since I'm everywhere.
Is it true? That's true.
But that's not going to be forever. It's not going to be forever. I am, Like this one, I'm gonna stay on this one. I like this. I like this show.
Okay, great.
It's fun because it's tough to be on top of your game early in the morning,
Right.
and it's good practice.
Right.
So
Good. Right. Get ready for a busy week.
yeah. Like so,
Yeah.
when I do the weekly word, which has moved over Long Island Tabletop.
Uh-huh.
When I do the weekly word, I have all day to prepare. So
Right.
one of two things: either I will be so tired that I'll be off my game, or
Right.
I'll be spot on. So this gives me a little something a little bit different.
Right. And even though I'm sure we're gonna set up some mini segments or something at some point, but right now it's just freestyle. So that's a relaxing
Hey,
environment.
by all means, you can absolutely take the take putting together a script and stuff like
Oh,
that. We've got to fill out that vision statement for this one too. I never did
okay.
that, but
Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking about small minor segments as I emailed you about some of the things about how do we how do we talk, when do we talk, and what do we talk about for upcoming events,
yeah,
just organizing it a tiny bit,
no, absolutely, by all means.
yeah.
But that it evolves. That's exactly how the weekly word started, and that's how
Right.
we can start here. So I'm just one more point on that topic, and then
Sure.
we can move on.
Sure.
Is I was running a D&D stream on Monday nights every other week, and we talked about it, and it was semi-scripted in that we would talk about, like, oh, here's the organization, but we waited so long before we did anything that when we went live, I DM'd. We weren't meeting, getting together, and building the world like we said we were going to do. So I DM'd the way I know how, and off the hook, and I just
Yeah.
and I went with it. Right now,
Right.
I have DM'd for a very, very long time, and not a single person, not a single person who wants to play the game has ever walked away from my table not liking the adventure that I
Right.
put in front of them.
Right.
Right,
Right.
and I'm talking about strangers. I'm talking about friends. However, in this case, they felt they had the podcast Mercer syndrome,
Okay.
and they were like, "We want this," and it was, and they were saying, "Leave it up to me. You go do the research, then come back to us." And
Okay.
and I thought about that, and I'm like, "Well, no, that's not really how this works. You tell me what you want, and I'll
Right.
adapt it." I understood their point. Like, it's not like I thought they were wrong. They weren't wrong, but telling someone to go watch a podcast and
Right.
say I want that, but not telling me what you like about that,
Right. Right.
doesn't
Right.
mean I'm going to give you what you want.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
say I was watching this, and I like this from this.
Right.
Give it a look. That's different. Then I'm looking for something specific. I'm not looking at it just to look at it in general.
Right.
But that's an example of trying to over polish,
Right. Right. Right.
right?
Okay. I can
It was
understand that.
it was always trying to over polish, and it kind of fell apart. So
Right.
it it was one of the things that on the stream that it was just, I guess it made it not fun.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it made it not fun because it wasn't the people.
Right.
The people themselves are great. It was, we couldn't really agree as to what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it, and there was a lot of and there was a lot of sweeping it over to the DM
Right.
to you know to go and do the research and come back.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
it's not it again. It's just an example, right? We learn. That's it.
Right.
We learn.
One,
So
one of the podcasts I've listened to a long time now is Fear the Boot podcast. It's an RPG podcast, and even though I've have tons of experience in RPGs and play a lot of RPGs, I don't get a chance to play them as often as I do board games these days. But the thing is that Fear the Boot podcast, episode number one, they were so polished in what they said, right? But there's a little caveat to this. You're gonna be surprised. They were so polished in how they set up their podcasts and talking and banter back and forth and la 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 la. And I was like, wow, these guys are great. From episode one, I fell into getting to know their personalities and how they were talking about podcasts and their switching of subjects. And eventually, I found out that they there's no script, completely unscripted, because the guys knew each other for like 5 years.
Yeah, well,
And that's sort of how they played tons of games together.
right.
And I might have been getting confused. It may not be Fear the Boot. It might be another one. But anyway, regardless, I was really impressed that and you and I, Rich, we've known each other for a long time now, like
Absolutely.
7, 8 years now. But it's not like we've gotten that much of a chance to sit down and banter like this. So
No, but talking but we do know each other to talk. We don't
right.
not game wise. Like if we jumped into a game, I don't think we'd understand the personalities.
Right. So, but the thing is that I was just super impressed. These guys, I thought it was a totally figured out podcast, and it wasn't. It was just, they just knew each other. They knew how to feed off each other.
Yeah, yeah, and that happens. That happens
Right.
from playing, hanging out, even just hanging out.
Right.
And so it is what it is, and we have to take these experiences and learn from them,
Right.
and put them
And
towards
this
our
is
other things.
and this is what Over Coffee is too. I think I'm sure that Rich and I will develop a really awesome script over time, and not script, but ideas and what we talk about, and get a little organized, as you said. But I think Over Coffee, it's really supposed to be a show about what we enjoy and what we hope other people enjoy. But we will love feedback. I mean, send us some messages and tell
Absolutely.
us even what Rich was just saying. Please, anybody can just say, hey, I really like this, but I wish it was shorter. Hey, you guys are great. I want you to go longer. Hey, I want you to go more days. Hey, can you cover topics like this? Can you tell us, Dave, you showed us some board games, but I really want to hear about them. Or Rich, you talked about an RPG. Can you give us the rundown? So anybody that has a comment like that, we'd love it. We'd love to make this show part of a morning routine for anybody that loves to hear us, hear our voices at 6:30
Well,
in the morning.
wait. Let's not push it that far. We want to make it a morning routine for anybody who wants to hear what we say, not
Oh, yes,
necessarily
yeah.
our voices.
Yeah, I sort of messed that up.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's fine. I'm with you. But just so you know, Erica has already suggested that we do this weekly.
Okay. Oh, not in the feed. Oh, yeah, there it is. Do it weekly. So she's in chat right now. So
Yeah.
okay. Well, there you go. There's another thing. Now,
So-
as I talked about, just scheduling wise, I work for the post office after I close Game Master Games, and December is a tough month for me to do it at 6:30 because I'll already be at work. But we'll talk about how we schedule that.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a whole bunch of clips of you saying different words, and then
Yeah.
I'll talk and I'll just play them at appropriate points. I'll just take a still of you and put it in that frame.
One of the
That
one
would
of
be
the,
awesome.
Another podcast I listen to, the two hosts, they always are at odds. They're part of their whatever, their magic, their I don't know what do you call it. Their rapport with each other is that they make fun of each other, and they never agree. So at one point, one of the hosts said, I completely agree with everything you just said. So the other host is the guy that does all the editing. So he inserted into the podcast for like the last 10 podcasts, the voice of I completely agree with you, when they never agreed for years and years and years. And so that's part of the thing that I think Ginger is missing out. It's almost like going to a bar. You go to a bar, you hang out, it's cool, you're watching the game, you're having your wings and beer. But if you're there by yourself, it's not. It can be entertaining, but I don't think as much, right?
Correct.
So, but if you don't have anybody to hang out with, if you go to the bar 2 times, 5 times, 20 times, and you become a regular, you get to know everybody.
Yes.
And I think it's the same thing with like listening to a podcast or watching a video series. You start to get to know the people.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Don't record that.
Yeah. Wait a minute. You're in charge of editing. I gotta grab that. Can I get that audio, please? Because I don't know how this show is going to be developing, but I think you might make some fun of me in the future.
I would never.
Well, there you go.
But no, it's great. So we've got about 7 minutes left.
Okay.
We'll just go down the rundown for this week. Stop me if you anything interesting. Okay. So, like I said, yesterday was the software development stream. It'll be back on in 2 weeks. I put the schedule.
This is the list of shows you're doing.
Yeah. Well, so the list of shows that Long Island Tabletop's hosting. I happen to be on them. I'm not going to be on all of them for long.
Right.
And then, like I said, I'm looking. Oh, eventually, I'll be looking for volunteers to help me host, so that way I'm not doing 6 shows a week hosting.
Right.
You know, it'd be nice to be able to take a break. Like, it would be great if I could get somebody, if even if I just like I'm hosting 4, right? Over Coffee, I'm part of the software development. I'm part of the Friday Night D&D. I'm part of, and I'm part of the Weekly Word. So, you know, if I had someone to every once in a while, like Morgan's taking a day off,
Right.
and because we should be able to take a day off.
Right.
So if I have another host, I could take a day off, and Morgan can find somebody to fill in for me.
Right.
You know,
right,
so
right, right.
it would be great. So anyway, so we had the software development yesterday. This morning we have Over Coffee, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. And then tonight we built the city with John, who, by the way, completely funny. He's completely written me off of that show. It's as if not only have I had nothing to do with the show
Yeah.
or helping him put it together,
Yeah.
I had absolutely nothing to do with this channel or doing anything on this channel.
Explain.
Well, John has a way of making everything his. And
Okay.
it was his idea, and this was his idea, and that was his idea. And
Uh-huh.
he just makes it him, and he leaves everybody else off.
Okay.
You know? So it took him 2 years to admit the Tuesday game that he put together that has a multi-table campaign
Okay.
was built off the ideas that we put together years ago back in Plainview,
Right. Okay.
you know,
Okay.
when I was doing Knights of Kalara.
Right.
You know, and that group fell apart. Admittedly, I didn't have the right people to do it with,
Okay.
but like he just completely, like, you know, the show that he developed, that he built, and the Long Island Tabletop Twitch channel, which
Right.
you know, which he's doing with them, and I'm like, okay. And it's just, you know what, it's amusing because he's not doing it maliciously.
Right. Right.
Right? It's not like he's just sweeping it to the side on purpose. He's just doing it, and I'm just
But
like,
would you say that at least for that show or whatever, he's jumped 2 feet into doing it?
it's more than 2 feet, right?
Yeah.
It's 2 feet, a body, other people. He's taken a car, a truck, a house, a boat, everything in with him.
Okay. Yeah.
He goes so far off the deep end. It's great. He came over because he needs a mic and he needs a camera, and I happen to have an extra mic, but you know, and then I'm gonna buy him a camera, but he's coming over and he's like, oh, there's this and this soundboard and this mixer, and I'm like, John, a webcam and a simple
Yeah.
mic will be perfect to start with. You'll be
Yeah,
great. You'll be great.
Right.
So we got it. We just got to calm him down. He's great because the show is good, and the idea is excellent.
Right.
So-
right.
so that's-
I listened to it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's tonight. I may be on it again tonight. I may not, but I am definitely
Okay.
hosting it for him. He's got a couple of people that may do this with him, which is great. So that's
Okay.
one show I can back out of. Then if I had a host, I might not even have to host, do that show at all.
Got it. Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on, getting a second host to help me. Then Tuesday nights, AJ's Marauder campaign, which is a futuristic Blade Runner.
And what time is that?
That is at good question, 7:30. Oh, John's tonight is at 9:30.
Okay.
Tomorrow it's 7:30. She may already have 4 players. I'm in
That's
it,
great.
but I'm going to back out when she gets another one. But she may
Okay.
have picked up 2 players for tomorrow, which would be great.
Okay.
And then Wednesday, no, not Wednesday. Thursday is the Weekly Word.
Okay.
we
And that's
have-
at 9.
Yes, it's at 9, and we have P. Smitty as a guest, our first guest on Twitch. P.
Okay.
Smitty ran a game called 0 Hour
Okay.
during the charity event, which I played in. It was awesome. We were on a camping trip, and we had to survive the zombie apocalypse. We didn't even know it happened.
That's good.
And then Friday night will be basically D&D, starting at 9:30 to midnight.
Okay.
That's me running a basic 1983 basic Redbox basic D&D campaign.
Okay.
We're going to explore all the basic stuff, and then we'll move on to whatever's next,
Right.
in order. What else? That's it.
Okay.
Those are our shows. You're going to do you're going to do a show on Off Mondays.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna work with you on developing that a little bit, and then
Yep.
I'll run it. Yeah,
Yep. And
and
then
that'll be good.
yeah, and you'll learn to host, so
Yep.
you'll be able to do that show with or without me,
Right.
which will be great.
Right.
Um,
And
and
then
then
I got a couple things too. If you're ready, the first thing is you know, it's Veterans Day, and I'm a veteran,
oh,
and
thank you
I
very
just
much, sir.
thank you. But really, what I want to say is, um, you know, a lot. It's veterans. Thank you so much for your service and helping the country. But also, we should remember and recognize that the families also sacrifice a lot of time.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of people in the military that aren't in combat arms. You know, most usually, sometimes the infantry and the artillery and the tanks all get a lot of the attention.
Yes.
But you know, there's a lot of people that support the military that don't get as much recognition. So the families, and also um, all veterans of all wars, but also the what I was going to say is all the emergency service people that are involved. You know, we should recognize them too, and also anybody that is in the service industry. I joke around. You know, I was a waiter and bartender and manager, and you know, sometimes it's tough dealing with the general public. But I help them. You know, we help them a lot. You know, we get them what they wanted. So, but that's not the focus, you know, for today. But the other thing is I want to talk about Fat Dog we got coming up at
Oh
the end of the
yes,
month. So
fat
I
dog.
got my Fat Dog mug, you know, and then of course we got a little Fat Dog flyer. It's the Friday last. It is the Friday after Thanksgiving Day of Gaming. You can go to fatdogcon.com and I'll give you these links and stuff like that. The tickets are pricey. They're $60 a ticket for a 1 day event. That's unbelievable. Except the food is out of this world.
The food
So
is
it's
free. You got to mention the food is free
the
with that
food is
ticket.
free. The food is included with the ticket.
Yes.
And there's raffles, miniatures, war games, board games. I'm going to be there running a couple games and stuff like that. So it's going to be a good time. Then the other thing is Unearthly Convention is the 23rd and 24th on Long Island. It is a Doctor Who convention, fan convention.
Got
And
it.
I'm going to be there on the Sunday running just a couple light board games, just having some fun, hanging out. And that should be cool. And then we have Ginger and I are at the Bethpage Library. Now, the Long Island Tabletop Video, Long Island Retro Video Games does a ton of library events. And I believe that we're working on some tabletop events too. But Ginger and I do stuff specifically at the Bethpage Library. Ginger's my wife, if you don't know. And that is December
I know.
6th. Yeah, I know you know. December 6th at 6:30 p.m. So we'll be at the Bethpage Library. And then, of course, Long Island Tabletop on April 18th, 2020. Don't miss this event. It's going to be at the Cradle of Aviation Museum. I'm going to be running board games there. We got Steve Esposito running RPGs. We got a great crew. It's going to be so many awesome events, vendors, and everything. It's going to be a blast.
I'll be there.
Yeah, I know you will be there.
I'll
Yeah.
probably be. I'll be probably. I don't know exactly what I'll be doing, but I plan on doing a lot, and I think we're going to be doing some live streams from there too.
That would be fantastic.
Yep.
So,
So I definitely will be doing. We may do a live weekly word.
uh-huh.
So and we're hopefully going to do an ABC improv storytelling.
Okay.
You know what that is, right?
Interesting. I don't know if I know.
Okay, so ABC improv is you pick a topic, and then you start with a letter, right? And then you keep and you keep the story going. Each person in line keeps the story going with the next letter of the alphabet.
Oh,
So your
okay.
sentence has to start with that.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, yeah. I've played some similar kind of things. Yeah.
You know. So my daughter and I do that a lot, and we joke around, but it's usually about food or something.
Okay.
And then till she gets to you, and then she says unicorns fly out of my butt. So so V is next, and I'm like, very nice. So
Yeah, very nice.
things like that. So I figure get like four or five DMs together,
Right.
and then see if we can keep it going and see how silly that story gets.
That is funny. And now I want to talk to you too. You know, and I know we're just at the end of the show, but I want to learn how to put on Twitch or YouTube or whatever remotely with my phone when I go to Fat Dog.
Okay, so I will look at that. It's easier from Twitch. Once I send you a guest invite, you'll be able to go live. Just don't
Okay.
go live over anything that else that's live.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Well,
YouTube.
so we can schedule that.
No,
Yeah.
of course we will.
Yeah.
It's Friday too. The only thing that's going to happen on Friday night on Friday is my show, but that's not until 9:30, and Fat Dog's over by then.
Okay.
Plus, there's a chance I may actually be at Fat Dog.
Oh, okay.
But there's that you can't do it on YouTube
Right. That
until
I know.
until you have 1,000 subscribers.
Subscribers. Right.
That's when you're allowed to go mobile.
Right.
So
Right.
we can't go mobile yet, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on
So
it.
what I've done in the past is I've gone Facebook Live and then I transfer it over to YouTube.
Yeah, so that's good. But yeah, no, once you have the guest invite to stream on the Long Island Tabletop channel, you could stream from the mobile device. So you'll be good. I'll get you set up with that.
Okay.
Not a problem. I think that's pretty much it.
I'm pretty much done with my coffee. I only got a couple drops left, so it might
I'm
be
gonna
the end
get
of the
another.
show.
I think so. I'm gonna get another cup.
Oh, wait, do you have to work today? Because Veterans Day?
I do.
Oh,
I
see,
do.
I'm actually off.
Yeah. A last comment on Veterans Day. I do like that over the years since I've been a kid, I've noticed, especially in the last 5 years, I think, Veterans Day has been taken a lot more seriously, and there's been a lot more attention towards it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I spent a year with spent a year in Virginia with my uncle, living with my uncle,
Right.
and I was a little bit of I was a kid, right?
A little bit of a what?
But he's in the Navy, so he would go away for 6 months at a time.
Okay.
And there was really nothing really going on when I was there. It was in the 80s, and but when he would come back, you don't appreciate it when you're a kid, because when he'd come back, he'd want to correct everything I'd been doing for the last 6 months, and it was like, I'm like, go away. Where were you?
Yeah.
Don't show me how to dribble a basketball. I learned it from the coach.
There you
So,
go. That's
but
funny.
I do appreciate that it's been, people appreciate it and pay attention to a lot more.
Well, I feel a little embarrassed. I've been out of the service for more than 10 years now, and I still haven't joined a VFW or a American Legion. And so I went to go check some out, and they were like, join us, because they're all like Vietnam vets. They're older gentlemen now, and
Yeah.
they're looking for younger people to join. So I think I'm joining the Farmingdale VFW soon. Although
Okay.
I got to talk to them and figure it out. But
Very nice.
yeah, so cool.
That's excellent. Well, with that, I will say have a wonderful day. I am going to get ready for work, and
I'm going back to bed.
that's why you're drinking decaf.
That won't happen very often, by the way. I'll usually be heading to work as well.
You're a jerk.
See, already it started. See, look, the true personalities come out on this podcast. So you heard it here live. Oh, is that, you said that's Erica? Erica, you heard it here live the first time Rich makes fun of me at Over Coffee.
I don't think I was making fun of you. That was an outright insult.
Okay, you're right. I'm working on a lack of sleep right now. So.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I heard the other day that it takes several hours for the effects of caffeine to actually kick in. So
Uh-oh.
I got to start drinking coffee earlier.
Oh, okay. So when you do the show, it's actually going to be your second cup?
Yeah, probably. Hey, look, I got up early enough so I could take a shower and get the hair done.
Hey, I had to wet my hair and comb it so I look somewhat presentable.
Well, when I sat down in front of the camera at first, I'm like, no, I got to do something with that.
Got to adjust. Cool.
So very cool. I am going to say goodbye, and then I'm going to switch to our goodbye credit, our ended credits.
Oh, okay, great.
So check it out on Twitch, and we can make them better. But in the future, if you have stuff like the Fat Dog and stuff to share, send it to me, and I'll put it on the right-hand side.
Did you see Erica's comments?
I do. I see them. I'm ignoring them.
Okay. Thank you, Erica. You can be my secret supporter. All right. Well, thanks,
right.
Rich. Thanks for hosting, and thanks. I really had a great time, and I hope everybody out there, again, send us feedback. I hope everybody out there enjoyed our little banter, learned about some upcoming events. Long Island Tabletop Twitch channel is getting hot, everybody. So find a show that you like, even if you don't watch all the shows, or even if you don't catch them all, find a show that you like, check it out whenever you can. We'd love the support, and I think you're going to have a great time in the coming months and years.
Absolutely. All right, Dave. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Good morning, Rich. See you later.
And good morning to everybody else out there.